How's it going, everyone? It's CKC here, back in another Kenshi 2 news video. Now, since the last update came out, there hasn't been too much new information on Kenshi 2. As the game's still really early in development, and I'm sure we're still getting staffed together, there isn't too much we're getting on a month-to-month basis. But we did get some information in the February community update, which I think is worth going over. Now, to summarize the rest of the Kenshi 2 non-related stuff, it basically goes over the Korean Translate update and how we're working to port the game into new languages. And on top of that, we got a new trailer this month for Kenshi. Now, I think this trailer is alright. I'm showing some footage of it in the background. I definitely think it's hard to capture what exactly Kenshi is or what you can do in a trailer, but I think this one's alright. It's at least better than the ones we've seen before. And there are new people still discovering Kenshi 1 every day, so hopefully this helps more people get into the game. Now, onto the important information is the GUI development. So this basically talks about the GUI of Kenshi 2, or the HUD. So where all the buttons are and stats for your character's limbs and stuff like that, etc. That's what this is referring to. In the interest of shedding more light on the Kenshi 2 progress from the technical team, this month we're sharing some thoughts of ongoing work underpinning GUI development directly from the programmer Harrison. And then Harrison says in his article, "Hey, I'm Harrison, aka Boodles, the newest programmer at Lofi. Ever since I was hired in November, I've been working on remaking the GUIs from Kenshi 1 in Unreal Engine for Kenshi 2. It's too early in development to know everything that the GUIs need to be able to do, so we're just copying the designs, graphics, and layout from Kenshi 1 and focusing entirely on getting the functionality working so we can test things. That means they currently look like uglier versions of the Kenshi 1 GUIs, so there's no point in showing any pictures yet. Somebody will make them look pretty at some point in the future. The GUIs in Kenshi 1 were made using a programming library called MyGUI, which allows modders to reskin GUIs and move individual GUI elements, buttons, text, sliders, etc. around by changing specific files. However, the GUI's functionality was hard-coded in the game's source code, which cannot be changed by modders. This means you cannot make a mod which adds a new button, only change what every button looks like, or move existing buttons around. For Kenshi 2, we're using Unreal Engine, which comes with its own GUI system called Unreal Motion Graphics, or UMG for short. UMG is tied closely to Unreal's Blueprint scripting system, which is used to give GUIs functionality. We don't entirely know how modding will work for Kenshi 2, but when we looked at other Unreal games that allow modding, such as Ark Survival Evolved, both UMG and Blueprint is completely available. So in theory, modders will be able to change the game's GUIs and script them to be able to do just about anything. This is in addition to the Forgotten Construction set, so mods that add or change weapons, armor, items, buildings, and most other things in Kenshi 1 will still be possible. And then it ends off by saying Harrison took up coding to make mods for various games before pursuing it as a career choice, which gives us another great point of insight as we make a conscious effort to support the community's efforts again in Kenshi 2. There's only one thing left, so I'll give my opinion on that whole part right there after. But they finished off by talking about the materials research. Elsewhere in the programming team, there's been an ongoing investigation of Unreal's material system, which governs a huge number of visual elements and object interaction, ranging from basic properties such as color and transparency to complex physics-based lighting and weather functions. We're not just aiming to step up the visual quality in Kenshi 2, it also gives us great opportunity to make the world itself feel more dynamic, which is part of what's pushed us to search for full-time technical artists. And with that, that's basically all the important information we got so far. So firstly, I want to go over the GUI info we got. I honestly really like these little devlogs sort of that they've been given out, just a few paragraphs from the developers to know what they're doing. If we can get 1 or 2 of these a month, I think it really helps a lot, because this one, I really like the look of it. So the programmer Harrison has had experience in making mods and modding in video games, so that definitely means that we can expect there's maybe some background chat there about how to make mods convenient or modding convenient in Kenshi 2. As we all know, the GUI for Kenshi 1 isn't the most pretty thing. Many of us have become to either love it within time or we changed it to other UIs, but there's not a whole lot you can really do with it. It's very limited. I'm very glad that we're adding, you can say add in your own buttons or change things around. As in Kenshi 1, there are a lot of different GUI mods to make your GUI either transparent, dark, look really different. And you can even customize your GUI yourself to your own liking to a degree. If modders are actually able to just do whatever they want with the GUI, customize it how they want, take out things how they want, or, have just more freedom than there was in Kenshi 1, I think that'll be very good. Now, even though they haven't really designed the new GUI as they said, they just ported the one from Kenshi 1 over. They are just working on trying to make a, a test version at least run so we can know, these buttons work and how to set up things and such. So that is something to definitely look forward to, and at least they are putting into consideration, players are going to want to mod everything in their game. I think Kenshi 1's modding is amazing, and I also think it is terrible. You can do a lot in Kenshi modding, and there's a lot of simple things you can do. I've spent a few hours with a sort of game editor that they have a construction set, and it's honestly not too hard to get a hold of. So if they can make another thing like that for Kenshi 2, just for simple modding, if somebody wants to add a game start or some simple things like that, they don't have to go above and beyond, and it's a lot less of a barrier to get into it. In Kenshi 1, the endgame for a lot of players has sort of been exploring mods and even making their own mods, and with that being a huge pillar of a community that's going by day to day, it'll definitely be really nice if they do end up focusing on this for Kenshi 2. Other than that, I'm really glad to hear, just the progress that is going on in Unreal, because, Kenshi 1's graphics just hasn't really been the best. I'm really glad to see the progress that we're making in Unreal so far, and as they said, we're going to be able to make the lighting and weather functions a lot better. Just like the game's art and aesthetic can be a lot more clean and a lot more, I guess just enjoyable. I wouldn't say the game's the ugliest game I've ever seen, Kenshi 1, but it's definitely not the prettiest, and a lot of outside gamers or people that are just looking at the game for the first time might dismiss a hidden gem just because of the graphics. So I definitely think if Kenshi 2 can have some nice graphics, as well as customizable graphics through ENBs and other sorts of mods and things that players like to make on their own, I not only think that Kenshi 2 can really be a successful game, but it can also carry back over to Kenshi 1, or for whenever they decide to port Kenshi 1 over to the new engine. And as far as a date for when the game will come out, because a lot of people have been asking me that in the comment section, of course I have no idea. I'm just a YouTube guy that plays Kenshi 1 a shit ton on his channel. Subscribe if you're interested. But what I can say is that the first game, yeah, it did take a very long time to come out, but it was mostly under development by one person. Now Chris has the sort of money to work with a team, and there is honestly a lot of hype and promise for Kenshi 2 as it is. It's very early in the development cycle, and a game like Kenshi 2 just can't really be pumped out in under a year or something. So I'm honestly hoping they take at least 2 to 3 years, minimum. If it's more than that to make a banger fucking good game, then that's fine. But as long as it doesn't go back into the 6 or 8, 10 years span, which I don't think it will, just because of the amount of people that are working on a project and money that'll be invested into it day by day. I'm sure that Chris knows that he has a huge community that loves his universe that he's created, and is very interested to learn about more of the lore in the second game. But that's about all that I have to talk about for this Kenshi 2 news video. If you guys enjoy these videos, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below, and consider checking out some of my other content if you do like Kenshi. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated on Kenshi 2, and if you'd like to see some more Kenshi 2 just topic videos or discussion videos or things that I've seen the community and we really think the game sort of needs, let me know in the comment section below, because I really think speculating and discussing the game is a lot of fun. But as always, thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.